Well, hello and welcome to I Love Gay today. And we're in Los Angeles today, and we are going in the world of film and TV and so forth with John Griffiths from GALECA, the Society of LGBTQ Entertainment Critics Association, and the Dorian Awards. But how are you, John?
I'm doing great, Matt. Thanks for having me, as they say.
Absolutely. That was a mouthful. I had, because I had GALECA, and I understand what that was so for, but then I was like, wait a second, we're going to put the Dorian Awards in there too in that sentence. So we're going to make sure we
Right.
cover it all.
Yeah, yeah. We're everything.
You are, but I find it really unique what you have put together, and especially if you're on social media and you're interested in film in any way, shape, or form, LGBT films specifically. I think you have to be living under a rock to not see the content and the work you all are doing, because it's amazing that, especially when the awards come out every year, that you guys are just everywhere.
Well, your lips have got ears. Thanks, Matt, for uh, thanks for caring enough to do this and help people learn more about Gallica and our Dorian Awards.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be frank, we've been for a group that's been around 15 years and has over 500 members in the US and England, Canada, Australia, and beyond, including countries like the Philippines, Mexico, Brazil, uh, oh God, Guyana.
Yeah.
Uh, it's uh, it's it's wonderful and it's amazing, and the kids. I can say kids because I'm 60 now. God help me. And the 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 young emerging journalists, or even established at a pretty quickly, um, working and critiquing movies or TV shows or Broadway for really well-known outlets.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
they look up to our older members, and the organization is like, wow, I'm so honored to be in this group. But that's wonderful within our organization. But we're still, maybe because we're queer,
Yeah.
trans journalists, we're still placed in, considered sort of niche in Hollywood and the general mainstream media. And I'll shut up and let you ask another question. But
No, no,
I
no.
did want to say our awards go to, the Dorian Awards go to mainstream as well as LGBTQIA titles and
Yeah.
content and performances and stuff. So we're the queer eye on movies, TV, and Broadway,
Well,
etc.
that's just it. But I think the one of the elements of your magic is just that, out of those 500 members, you're bringing together all these journalists that come across from television, film, Broadway, in all those regions that you're talking about. And I think it's that bringing together journalists, and also journalists that some of them are more old school, but when you merge them with kind of the social media and the technologies of today, there's a bunch of you that are just really good at kind of bridging those two worlds. And that's, I think, part of the magic, is that you're out there and um you're publishing and putting things out about some of the Dorian Awards and different things you're doing, but you're also amplifying the voices of so many other writers and so forth that are out there that have been doing this for maybe decades. And I
Yeah,
think that's a big part of it.
it's very important for us. I started this group as it sort of felt clubby
Yeah.
initially 15 years ago. It was about, I woke up one morning and I thought, I it's gay critics, and that was my mindset at the time.
Yeah.
Really, that they love movies and TV, and they're so passionate about it. What is that? Why is that? Why is there such a distinct that queer eye that I
Yeah.
wasn't thinking of, but that's what I mean, that phrase, but it's that sort of maybe born of oppression or
Yeah.
fear, that translates into an attraction to dark humor, campy humor, tragic humor, melodrama, um, and beyond that, we just get lost as feeling shunted by society in some ways. I know I did. I turned to the TV
Yeah.
to sort of
Yeah.
as solace, like, oh, here's some nice people, like on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. These seem like really nice people that would like me and not care about me being gay. So I thought, what about an awards where, I have gay friends that are journalists or, critics. Like, let's have an awards from our people,
Yeah, yeah,
and our culture, which is pretty, we're named in homage to our Dorian Awards, or you know, a wink to Oscar Wilde, the picture of Dorian Gray,
yeah,
and
yeah.
and so he's sort of our patron saint, if you will. But yeah, so we've grown to this group of over 500, uh, and what's so weird is that in those 15 years, it's even more uncomfortable for some people to be out,
Yeah.
or dangerous. So it's super important now to, for me, I think it's maybe a subtle way of activism, but I've always said we're sort of the flip side of GLAAD. They're about representation, and we're about that special eye on things,
Yeah.
to remind people, even bigots and bullies and haters and stuff, that, oh well, I have to say that that gay guy down the street did turn me on
Yeah.
to that weird show that I like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so it's a little uh, dent in the armor.
Yeah, but even Glad, like you were mentioning, they amplify and post and share a lot about the awards, but then so does mainstream media. I mean, you have Deadline, Hollywood Reporter, things like that, where they're really, so you're really taking it outside of the LGBT media world and bringing it way out as well.
Right, that's taken some effort, but
Yeah.
yeah, the trades are very you make a good point. The trades have been very kind in covering us, and then the trades like the Hollywood Reporter, the Wrap, Deadline, etc. They have relationships with Yahoo or
Hmm.
AOL or others as syndicates or whatever, and so then we get coverage, nice coverage that way too. So it's
Yeah.
good.
I loved it too. In 2020, when I was reading more on this now on your Wikipedia page, but because I had forgotten about the Dory, the TV toast, and some of the events that you had done, especially during the pandemic, where you were on Reverie TV. You had Carell out there as the host, and I watched some of that, and I thought it was amazing what you guys were working on.
Yeah, thank you so much. We did three specials, and
Yeah,
two on Reverie and one on Here TV that you can see on Tubi.
yeah,
You can see them all if you do some digging, for free. Um, and those were super fun. We produced those in-house, and with Carell and his editor, this Brandon Riley Miller, I think that's his name, um, and I and a celebrity booker, we just had fun, and I think what we came up with was our version of an awards has always been, from the get-go, when we do an in-person events, or those TV specials. It's not just you know a trophy toss with acceptance speeches. We don't
yeah.
want acceptance speeches. It's an interview in front of the crowd, or in a
Mhm.
special, in front of, like, a sort of a Oprah style interview
Yeah,
that is a little probing, and then there is the presentation of the award with a little anticipation in the specials, like, who, here are the nominees, who will win.
yeah,
um, and so it's those were super fun, and since then, we thought that might translate into a larger network, um, or streamer, and there's still a chance there. There always will be a chance, but we, yeah, we have to, this era, from corporate sponsors to perhaps network executives or streaming executives, it's a little harder to get a yes, given Ron DeSantis, and I mean, they're just not letting go. I mean, like, what's happening in certain southern states, in Ohio especially, it's just,
yeah. I know.
it's
Yeah.
really awful.
No, it's going to be a while. I think that whole it's not always that widely talked about, but I believe I can state that a lot of the larger corporate brands and so forth that typically were loved with the representation in the LGBT community, I think they're quietly pulling back after everything they saw about, Target and Bud Light and the whole list of things with DeSantis at the forefront of that. So I think that's going to affect us for a while, unfortunately.
And it's only anecdotal. I have to read up on this, but we had pretty good representation according to GLAAD as of last year. Uh, all our segments,
Yeah.
all the segments in the rainbow were on the uptick in representation in movies and TV. But a lot of shows have been canceled
Yeah. Yeah.
with queer characters. And so it's ebb and flow always. Who
Yeah.
knows what that's about? There have been a lot of changes at the top at certain companies, and a lot of money issues. They're realizing that they've been spending too much. So
Yeah.
what's the first to go?
Well, you nailed it though this year when everyone's favorite that I saw won film of the year and got award the Dorian award on that was the All of Us Strangers.
Yeah, what a beautiful movie.
Yeah.
I haven't cried over a movie. At the ending, just it
Yeah.
all the way to it through it, I was like, huh,
Yeah.
huh, huh, hmm, huh. And then
Yeah.
just I wasn't sure what was going on early on, and then it just came together like this beautiful, dreamy puzzle.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, I'm like, oh my God, this is a spiritual movie. I mean, I could just cry thinking about it now, that uh, the impact on my heart and other people around me, I could see people, sobbing or, at least wiping their tears.
Yeah.
And I haven't felt that since, like, Brokeback Mountain definitely put a lump in my throat. Heath Ledger with, opening up the
Mhm.
closet and there's Jake Gyllenhaal's, shirt. Oh my
Yes.
God.
Yeah.
Uh, and Splendor in the Grass, the ending of, I don't know if you've ever seen the Natalie
Yeah.
Wood,
Yeah. Yeah.
Warren Beatty film. That is
Wow.
also a Tyrion, not Yanker, but it's just
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm so, uh, a lot of people didn't, it just missed the radar of the awards, groups.
Yeah.
And also the Globes, the Oscars, I think even the Indie Spirit Awards. I mean, I know that it got some nominations at the BAFTAs and some nominations here and there, but really, I don't know what happened there. It's not for lack of effort on the part of is I think it's Searchlight.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
made sure people saw it, but
Yeah.
or tried.
Now it's on Hulu.
Yeah, everybody can see it on Hulu,
I know.
and
I wasn't expecting that. I did on Hulu. It's like, wait, we just paid to see this in the theater, which I'm glad we did. But I didn't realize. But my husband loves this movie as well, so he said that's fine. We're going to watch it again.
what did you think of it?
Oh, I really enjoyed it. As I was watching it, I was feeling like I was trying to figure it out the same way I was when I was watching The Sixth Sense. I thought that he was going to turn around and just say, "I see dead people," or something. I thought it was going that direction. I did not really. So when it ended, I wasn't really expecting it to be much, like you said, more of a spiritual movie and something that was much more artistic than science fiction.
Right. I have to see it again too, because I think it has, I would never say Easter eggs for that kind of movie, but there might have been some things I missed. There were some, I don't know if it's continuity. There were some parts where I'm like, that's kind of fuzzy. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
I'm grabbing, what is supposed to be happening because of the direction or writing or the editing. And then, but I think that it's not necessarily, I think that's the point.
yeah,
It's based on a very dreamy Japanese
yeah. Japanese.
novella, I
Yeah,
think. Yeah, Andrew Haig wrote, switched around the story quite a bit, obviously,
yeah,
um, but yeah, I think that's just part of the dreaminess. It's like
yeah, yeah,
wanting to put you in a world where you're not, this could be that, this
yeah,
could be that,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Well, it did a good
and
job with that. Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
agree. No, this is as we're wrapping up, anything exciting on the horizon here for 2024?
Well, we have some things cooking with GALECA. We've got our, or I should say, the Society of LGBTQ Entertainment Critics and our Dorian Awards. We've got our Broadway and off Broadway. We don't. It's not just Broadway. Our theater awards, Dorian Theater Awards, are coming. We don't have the timeline set just yet, but that'll be in June as a walk up to the Tonys. And we've got our TV awards, which are sort of, pre-Emmys, and that's also in June. So June's a big month for us. That's,
Yeah.
Pride Month. Um, and and yeah, we've got, speaking of social media, we have a new social media person, Giselle Palomera, who is one of these kids that's like, I just love this organization. I'm going to go, I want to go gangbusters. And so our social media presence will rise even more.
Wow.
And yeah. So,
I love
and we got what we have, and something might be announced soon that will intrigue people
Yeah, I love
about
hearing all that.
the future of our group.
Yeah. Like I said, I love hearing all that. So, but mostly I'm just really glad that you were able to take a few moments of your time and share a bit of your story and what's going on with GALECA and with our audience. And next time I'm in LA, I look forward to actually connecting in the real world with you too.
Right back at you, Matt. And everybody, see the films that were nominated for our Dorian Film Awards, and they're highly recommended by our members, and especially the ones that won. But all of the nominees are May December. Poor Things. People loved Megan, of course. If everybody has probably seen that, but that won our campy flick of the year. Anyway,
Okay.
that's about it.
I love it. Well, thanks so much for being here, and look forward to chatting with you soon.
Thanks so much, Matt. I really appreciate it.
Feels good, so good.